Okay, hello everyone, hello. Do I really sound like that? Oh my God. Do I really sound like that? Oh my. Hello, hello. Let's turn this off. Welcome everybody. Hello Sandeep, hello Carrie B, hello Vatanai, hello Paul Yoward, hello Andrew Rubin. Hello, Andrew Rubin sent me a message that I didn't reply to because I'm bad. I'm really bad. I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm bad. Let me just turn this thing off. Let me turn this thing off. Let me turn that thing off. I was listening to the Blues Magoos. Do you know that song? That one that they had one hit song. They were like New Yorkers. Anyway, Elite Elixir is here. Carrie B is here. Scott, Elite Elixir. Thank you for coming. Thank you after today's earlier show, which was horrific, or it was the best show ever. It was horrific, or it was the best show ever. That's the way I look at my life. We don't know if it's going to be this could be the best show ever. This could be the best show ever, or it could be something horrible. I think let me just lower this a little bit. How is that? That's all right. Or it could be the best show ever. We don't know. You don't know. You need to be told. I need to be told. I need to be told. After every show, I used to do this when I did shows in New York. I used to go shake the people's hands at the end of every show. At the end of every show, I used to shake their hands to see whether it was one of the best shows ever, one of the worst. Because as I'm doing it, I think, oh God, this is horrible. And sometimes the people were happy, and sometimes they weren't happy. They weren't happy. So you went out for a little bit of nap. I had like maybe an hour lying down, and then I went out and I picked up rubbish, and I found some croc what do you call those crocs, blue crocs. Should I show you what I got? Let me show you what I got. Just stay right there, everybody. Hello. Size 10. I think that's my size. It might be my size. I think size 10 is size 11 in America. I'm not 100% sure. But I washed it. That's the most important thing. I washed it. I didn't use bleach. I was thinking about using bleach, but I didn't use, are these Crocs? These might not be Crocs. Maybe they're similar to Crocs. They don't say that they're Crocs. How much are these things worth? 15 pounds? 10 pounds? People wear them in the hospital. How you can wear something like this in the hospital? It's like walking around. It's like walking around bare feet. Well, this is what China does. It's what China does best. They don't make missile defense systems. Oh yeah, these things are good. These are my size. I knew it. I knew they were my size. I'm gonna wear them right now. Anyway, so there you go. So we're talking about napping. Let's get back to basics. Who else is here? Um, Andrew Graham is back. Good to see you, Andrew Graham. These are the late night shows. I don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make them not horrible. I was really upset this afternoon because the box wasn't working and I couldn't move it into position. And I start yelling at Stream Labs, which I shouldn't do. Blazing Stars is here. Um, and I got really upset. Started pounding the table, and then I think to myself, how can you want to listen to this? I mean, I'm not a great guy. That is the problem. I think the problem is people look at me and they think, oh, he's a great guy. I'm not a great guy. You could tell me I'm a great guy. Listen to it. but I'm not a great guy. Or it could be the last show ever. I like it. Could be. It could very well be. We've done 200. We've done 115. I think this is 115, or it's 100 and or it's 100 and it was 100. I'm going to tell you what we did. We were at 100, 170, 79, 180, 180, 113th, 114th. This is 100. This is show 115th. We've done 115 night shows plus 282 day shows. So that's 115 plus 282 is 397 streams. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Lucy here? Okay, where is Lucy? I didn't see Lucy come in. I maybe skipped ahead. Sandeep is here. I used to own a Ford Fairlane when I was about 20 years old. Oh my God. Oh my God. The memories. The memories. Can you see? And you can see and hear me. Could it be louder? I don't know if it could be louder. Lewis, we have a co-despendency now. Do not threaten us with. I'm not saying that. I'm not leaving. I'm not. Maybe I should say that I'm leaving. Maybe people will appreciate me by making, I don't know, by making sure you like and subscribe and maybe go to Ko-fi. Maybe that's what you could do. Is Lucy here? Where is Lucy Van Pelt? I don't see her. Has Lucy? Let me go to regular chat, live chat. I don't see Lucy Van Pelt here. Lewis, your birthday is near Carrie B, so remind me of my. You so remind me of my CUNT brother who scours the streets in New Cross Gate. Yeah, because people throw stuff out. Especially New Cross, they throw stuff out. There you go. Lucy says wearing Crocs is a sign you have no interest in getting girls. The answer to that, maybe that's true. Maybe subconsciously. I don't find the way I speak to women, if I were a woman, I wouldn't find me attractive. There's so many things I don't do that are attractive. As I've said millions and millions of times, Lucy Van Pelt, I want to be liked anal, warts and all, or warts and all was the old saying, but I always say anal. I just want you to say, you know what? I know you're a loser. I know the streams are not that good. I know there's no content here. I know you're lazy, but I love you anyway. Don't we all want to be loved that way? Raise your hand if you don't want to be loved that way. Especially men. Men are just judged on what we can provide. Are we going to buy somebody dinner? Are we going to give you a house? Are we going to buy you a car? What do I have to give you? Can I take you to America? Who knows? Corsai is here. Lewis is the boss here, and we need his mojo. But I also have a lot of mojo, I think. I think I've got mojo. Do I have mojo? I think I've got mojo. I don't even know what that means. Around 12.5% of my life has been taken up by Lewis Schaffer this past year. It could be 3 hours a day is 1,200 hours. Let's figure out how many. Let's say it's been 3 hours a day. So let's say it's 400 times 3 is 1,200 divided by 24. I can't do math anymore because ever since I had the phone, I don't do, and I used to be able to do math because I'm a Jew, and I should be good at that. So we now know that Lucy doesn't like me wearing Crocs. It's not even real Crocs. It's like fake Crocs. It's fake Crocs. High symmetry is a sign of good genes too. Oh, that's in human beings. The same genes control the size of hands. The size of hands and feet are subject to perturbations in the womb, such that more robust genes tend to develop bigger hands and feet. So I guess you're saying that a certain look. What is that? What is that thing that says "I love New York" on it? What thing? Where? In the back? Where? Where? I have shirts that say that. I met the guy who actually designed it. Who actually designed it when I was like manic back in the day. I wear Croc sliders. They're great and look real nice too. What is a Croc slider, Keith Bexley? So let me just do the math on this. What is a Croc slider? I mean, I don't think you should be allowed to wear it at the whatchamacallit, 400 times 3 equals divided by 24 hours in a day, 50 straight days, which is 50 days divided by 365 is 1/7 of the year. Right next to me. Oh, this. Oh, okay. This is a baseball. This is a baseball. I bought it in New York for my kids right at the airport when I had extra dollars in my pocket and I felt rich. I felt to give, and I bought this for my kids and they seem to like it. And it's a very good baseball. It's a baseball, and it's really hard. Can you see that? It says I Heart New York. The guy who invented this, his name was Milton Glaser. It was Milton Glaser. Um, how do you know it's from New York? Well, I know it's from New York because I actually bought it in New York when I was with my kids. So I know it's from New York. It's very good. It's a baseball, says Andrew Graham. Yeah, it's a baseball. It's like a cricket ball or a football. You go to Manchester and you buy a football that says I love Man City or Man U or something. That's what this is. I got the Chicago Cubs one when I was there. There you go. Well, they were the one of the main enemies. I mean, competitor teams to the New York Mets, which was my team. My team is the New York Mets, not the Yankees. The Mets. My team was like Manchester City when Manchester City was up and down. If they ever were up, I don't know if they ever won anything before the guys took it over. Turn the picture off and just listen. It sounds like Lewis is practicing his golf swing on the tee. Why? Why? I mean, is it my chair, do you think? Is it the ball? What were you doing in Chicago, Lucy Van Pelt? Okay. What were you doing there? Jack Schaefer. Is it Schaefer or Schaffer? How do you want to be called, Jack? He says hi. Not sure. Just riffing, laugh out loud. Says, or let the sheep juice out, blazing stars. I don't know what that, you know. I'd like to buy a baseball diamond. Where? Where? It's like saying I'd like to buy a football pitch. Is that what you mean? Test. Crocs anywhere that doesn't involve water, leisure activities. Bye bye. Crocs anywhere that doesn't involve water. You can test the Crocs. I mean, it's a great shoe to wear at the beach. To go when you go in the water. I was there for 6 weeks when I was 12 without my parents. I don't believe that. Without your parents? Did you go alone? How do you go alone when you're 12 years old? How do they let you do that? I prefer chauffeur. Chauffeur. It sounds French. Chauffeur. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny, Jack. You should donate that baseball to the Girl Guides. Why? Do they play that? Do they play baseball? What do they call baseball in this country? What do they call that? I'm always forgetting what it's called. What is it called? I'm looking for a good pair of wellies in case I ever need them. Yeah, well, you could say that I'm looking for a pair of scissors just in case I ever need them. You know what I mean? People always may need something. Oh, back to the great Muppet caper with a fall to robbery, the fabulous baseball diamond. That's actually funny. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't see that movie, but it's a funny joke. The baseball diamond. What is it? What is it? What is this? What is it called, Lucy? Free trip courtesy of the Northern Ireland Children's Fund, a cross community project. Oh, I see. So You went with other kids your age, and also Protestant kids. Did you get into any fights, or were they all right? Are you allowed to say chauffeurs now? The poetess of car drivers, says Paul Yoward. I don't know. I love the Muppets. That's what Andrew Graham says. Yeah, and then the guy died. What a tragedy. What a tragedy. The guy died. So you went with other 12-year-old girls to Chicago, a mixture of Catholic and Protestant kids, 12 years ago. So not 12. I'm not going to say how old you are. How old are you? And you don't have to say. And you went with other kids your age. That sounds like a tremendous like a Make-A-Wish kid. Well, I think they felt sorry for the 30. How many years ago was that? Ireland lost Wales, lost even Northern Ireland lost. To what? What sport did they lose? Those pesky Protestants, yes. Or pesky, when there's war, there's war. It's not a happy time. And people, they just find reasons to hate each other. Once a baseball, always a baseball. Have you heard about the baseball who changed his name to Dennis? Says Blazing Stars. I don't understand what that means. Have you heard the baseball who changed his name to Dennis? So he's not called Baseball Diamond. He's called Baseball Dennis. I don't know. I met a girl online. She was beautiful and wanted nothing more than to get married, have kids, watch sitcoms. But then she called Trump a literal Nazi and said he is anti-trans. I was, Jack Schaffer says, heartbroken. Yeah, well, it's like my friend who basically, remember, were you guys here when my friend called me up and called me a homophobe because I was in some video where they made saying that people who watch GB News are anti-gay. Do you remember that? And she called me. She called me today. So you can't hate somebody because of what they believe, really. But I mean, it can cause problems, can't it? It can cause problems. It can cause problems. In football today, none of them can go World Cup anymore. Why can't they go World Cup anymore? Baseball is baseball. People in Cardiff and South Wales played baseball. Oh, I see. It is said that they saw American sailors playing it on the docks. Yeah, well, it was one of the first. Or maybe it wasn't one of the first, but it was a big sport in the 1800s during the rise of industrialization. They would go out into the fields and they'd play in the fields. Children don't fight along. Okay, children don't fight along sectarian lines. Only at the bequest of adults, like in Iran now, recruiting 12-year-olds for military service, says Rubin. Well, you see your parents. You want to support what your parents doing, Reuben. So they can fight, then they can hold a grudge, and they can beat people up. Softball is different to baseball, says Paul Yoward. As the name implies, baseball is a game invented in America, but netball was a mistake based on a letter to the basketball guy sent to a woman in the UK. Now, what is the game that people play in this country? Lucy should have provided the information. The name was pulled out of a hat at school. Each of us stayed with a different family. I stayed with the Bradys, a couple with one daughter about my age. They were lovely and very obese, even back then. Probably they weren't even that obese by American standards in whatever year that was. I think I know how old you are, but I don't want to dox you. What is the name of the sport that they would hit that the girls play at school? Where they don't really. It's sort of like baseball, but it isn't. We used to play Danish rounders. Rounders, that's what it's called. Thank you, Paul. At school, it was pandemonium with dozens of kids running between boxes on the floor. Yeah. Netball originated from a misinterpretation of basketball rules. This is what Kermit is saying, and we have to listen to Kermit. rules by Clara Bear in 1895, who mistakenly believed that certain players' lines indicated restricted areas for players, certain court lines. So they weren't allowed to go in there. They basically, netball is them throwing the ball around. They're not really allowed to move. Variations on baseball are rounders and softball, yes. But rounders is very different, and softball is basically baseball. It's got balls and strikes and running. It's a very similar game, except the ball is bigger. It's about that big, and they throw the ball. And then they got softball in when we used to play it in this, in New York, and where they played it in the Midwest. It was a different size of the ball. Baseball has its origin in several bat and ball games, including rounders, which was played in England. Yeah, and the guy claimed credit for inventing it, even though he didn't invent it. Right? He didn't invent it. Thank you, Kermit, for that information. Rounders. I forgot what it was called. It was called rounders. I loved rounders. We played this at primary school. Everything you did at primary school, if you're playing a game or something, you probably loved it because it's primary school. You got outside running around. Same, Joe says. She loved it. She loved rounders. Alita Lixer says he loved rounders too. I mean, that's totally understandable. Is it not understandable? It's very, very ironically, a softball is not soft. No, but it's not as hard as this. This thing is like, can you hear that? It's hard. It could kill you. It could kill you. They throw it at 100 miles an hour. It's, it's a different kind of game. Softball was invented later in 1987 as an indoor variation of baseball. Okay, I did not know that. I did not know that. Basketball was invented by as an indoor game. There was a game called korfball, says Paul Yoward, which is Dutch for basketball, but is different and played in mixed teams. A guy bored the shit out of me at a party going on about korfball. I never heard of it. I never heard of that. It's shocking how bad this country is at basketball. Well, first of all, in order to play basketball, I don't know why is it, but it does, it's people play football. It's like saying it's amazing how bad people are at playing football in America. It's just we weren't playing it. You were playing it here. You invented it here. It doesn't have to be played everywhere. Okay. Alex comes in and says it's shocking how bad this right. So don't be worried about that. Jack says most American sports are evolved from British sports. Whenever I try explaining to Americans that American football is a butchered version of rugby, they don't take too kindly to it. Yes. Yeah, you know what? Because, yeah. Britain invented a lot of great things. A lot of great things. That's what I say. I say Britain is the greatest country in the world because you created America. The thing about America is we take things from other countries and then we make money out of it, whether it's coffee, whether it's sports, you just name it. Pickleballs aren't preserved in vinegar either, Lucy. I don't even know what a pickleball is. I've lived here for so long. But there's other games like that. When I was a kid, there was all sorts of racquetball stuff that was like really, or squash, where people had to play it. It was like the coolest game. And then when the poor people played it, the rich people stopped playing it. That's interesting, Paul. Yeah, the German word for basket is Korb. A muzzle on a dog is a Besselkorb, a bite basket. A bite basket. Okay, cool. We're learning German. A Korb. A Korb. I love a pickled egg. Yeah, now our minds are wandering. But they've got this pickleball. I never even heard of it. It's recent. I don't know when it was invented. Mad Magazine used to invent games that involved things like using various sizes of terrier skulls. Mad Magazine was fantastic, Mad Magazine, back in the day. When was Mad Magazine founded? I'm going to guess 19 1955. I'm gonna just look at this only because I'm curious. Okay, bear with me. I'm not gonna show you that I'm looking for it. Mad Magazine. Okay, 1952. DC Comics. Oh, it's currently published by DC Comics. It was a comedy magazine. Comedy magazine. They were around for a long time. Al Feldstein, the editors, satire, 140,000. It had a lot of people reading it back in the day. Back in the day, did it say what the? I mean, it was huge. It was huge. It was huge. Interesting. I don't know if you find it interesting, but I find it interesting. Pickled egg, okay. Pickleball and paddleball and paddle. I used to play paddleball when I was a kid. It looks like short tennis. I remember going out in the wintertime during the Christmas break with friends, and I was maybe 10 or 12 years old, and we'd go over to the paddleball things, and it was freezing. It was like, I mean, I guess you didn't care. We didn't care when you're young. I mean, proper freezing, not like freezing here. I mean, maybe 10 degrees, or like, let's say minus 10 degrees or more. As much as I'm supposed to dislike Russia, as they are technically our enemy now. No, we don't like, they don't want us to like Russia. As I really love their national anthem before the fall of the Soviet Union. They had a beautiful flag. Yeah, yeah. I don't like their flag now, white business. I'm not happy about that. What me worry, Alfred E. Newman. I got mad throughout the whole of the 80s. Yes, you were a comedy aficionado. I love a pickled egg. Now we're talking about pickled eggs and acid reflux just after clutching the chest thinking you're having a heart attack. It's all a lie. We're not getting into that discussion. Today I had 10 eggs. I made for dinner. I made bacon with 10 scrambled eggs. And then I went and before that, when I was out, I bought a samosa, and I ate a lamb samosa, and I ate the entire samosa. And then when I'm out and about, I thought to myself, holy cow, I've eaten too much carbs. And so I had to walk around. I walked around. I did 9,000 steps today, I think. So there we go. I love playing croquet. Love that. I brought a set for our garden in the mid-70s. Not posh like people think. Great fun and so competitive. Yeah, everybody had a croquet set at home, in my home. Cool Hand Lewis is no Paul Newman. No, better than Paul Newman. I had 10 eggs. 10 eggs today. Eggs are good. Fried, boiled, or scrambled. Omelets, too. They're a superfood. An egg is a superfood. But I try to eat them raw. Love a samosa, too, says Andrew Graham. I love samosa. It's not that many calories. They're about 200 calories. I was going to have 10 eggs, but I bought Stella instead. Is 10 eggs, is that a brand of beer? Is that a brand of beer? When in Chicago, I walked around Six Flags in a wet t-shirt, got soaked standing on a bridge above one of the rides where a boat slides down into the water. Luckily, it was hot, and I dried out quickly. So this is a wet t-shirt thing. I'm going to ask everybody here. Remember, she was 12 years old at the time, so we can't think about it. Awesome. I've a mallet to inherit that I brought my dad. Laugh out loud. He doesn't use it. Really top quality as well, says Elite Elixir Scott. Well, what are you gonna do with it? Carry it around with you just in case you fall into a croquet match? And it was proper hot. Was it not proper hot when you were there? How long? You said how long you were there. Yeah. Zeppelin drinks in my bro's boozer when he's in the UK. Who is Zeppelin? I never heard of that guy. Is that a guy that I should know? Storm are sending equipment to help with the war in Iran. He is sending 4 slingshots and 8 water bombs. Period. Well, he is no Winston Churchill. No, he is no Winston Churchill. I thought I said something funny this afternoon about that. We can talk about that later. Simon Evans does a good gag about the irony of the homeless drinking tenants. Yeah, I remember that joke. Well, Simon Evans is a lovely guy. Is actually lovelier than you think he is. I'll wear it slung on my back just in case. Yeah, you carry it around. That would be proper funny to be carrying around a croquet mallet just in case a croquet match. Archie Manners, I liked him too. He was nice too. Archie Manners. Croquet is much more convenient to play than golf, yet the posh barrier stops it getting popular. Plus, one guy dominated the game for about 25 years. Well, most people, at least around here, don't have big enough gardens. Their houses are too small. Even the richer people here don't have big gardens. I would describe croquet as golf with hoops, says Joe. Beautiful, beautiful Joe. The set we got cost about a tenner. You could whack the S out of the balls. Fab. You can't whack them because you've got to play strategically. I don't even know what the rules are, but there was a strategic play. Kermit says, I like Simon Evans. Very erudite. Yes, extremely so. And well-spoken. That's a little joke there. Good fun, Joe Warrior. It is, but, and the sound that it makes, it's good. You're hanging out, walking around with people. The last time I played it in 2001. In 2001. My brother used to host the village handball matches on his front lawn. Handball. How do you don't you need a wall to play handball against? The thing about baseball is that lots of people are preparing to play it. They have the shoes, the hats, the ball. One day there will be a massive game. Just spontaneously happens. We used to play softball. We just needed a hat and a ball. Hat and one guy brought the bats and you got the glove. I got the glove. Where is the glove over here? Did you see the glove? Christelle, okay, Blazing Star. Let's get back. Okay, we skipped ahead. Let's not skip ahead. I've said this before on here, but Harpo was a massive croquet fan. Had his car park roof near him, turf, so he could play regularly. Yeah, you did mention that before, Ruben, and I thank you for mentioning it again. I do appreciate that. Who has grass short enough to play croquet? People gardens call for bunker golf. Yeah, you got to basically. I mean, I don't know. People don't have the lawn. Their lawns are not as big as they are in America, and they don't have the machines, the mowers. The mowers. Thank you, Blazing Stars. Christelle says Scott. Christelle would visit me on my lunch break at the hospital, and we'd watch croquet. That's where I'll play it in the future, at the hospital. No, you're not. We're all going to get nice and healthy. Nice and healthy by being thin and by being low carb. Thin and low carb. And eating lots of red meat. Lots and lots of red meat. Kermit says this. No, it's that thing they do on beaches in America with the high net. That's volleyball. That's beach volleyball. They play that here. They have beach volleyball things over at Crystal Palace Sports Center. Does anybody know it? Is it lacrosse, North American Indian game? No. Lacrosse is very different. Lacrosse has a stick with a net, and you catch the ball, you throw the ball. I guess it's similar to I never played it. It was kind of like a Minnesota game. It was a Midwestern America, an Indian game, and I think what that game is Reuben, is like soccer, but with a stick and a net. And so instead of kicking the ball, you pick the ball up and then you throw it very fast. He has a Honda ride-on mower. His lawn is striped and everything. That's really classy. Some people are ready to play baseball in the bedroom. They have a bat there, and even in their car, the latest is that was I used to tell that joke. People love baseball here, you know. People would stop the car and they'd have a baseball bat in the car. I'm gaining weight, Corsai. Come on, don't gain weight. Don't gain weight. Archie Manners has a lot of pranks on YouTube. He's on GB News right now. Yes, okay, he's on GB News. Maybe they'll have me back and it'll be a big deal. Oh my God, Lewis Schaffer's back. Lewis Schaffer's back. Knickerbockers get popular, then the game is totally on. What does that mean, Knickerbockers? That's what they used to call New York Knicks. Our garden in Litchfield was pretty random and the wall faced the cathedral, but we managed to make use of it. Yeah, okay. Litchfield is a beautiful place. I've actually been to the town. I went to the town. Well, I was looking for something to do, something that was 30 minutes outside of Birmingham. And I went to the lady at the ticket thing and I said, where can I go that's 30 minutes outside of Birmingham? And they said, get on this train, 30 minutes is Litchfield. If you could, and I walked around and it was lovely. If you could have dinner with any 3 dead people from history, who would they be? For me, it's Churchill, Hitchcock, and the guy who invented the water-powered car, who then died of food poisoning. How do you power a car with water? And how does that relate to food poisoning? And Jack, why would you want to have dinner with Churchill? He's dead. He's probably very smelly. You know, dead people smell. Lacrosse is an invention of Native Americans. Yes, that's true. Yes, that is true. Had to play that at one of my grammar schools. Joe says to Paul Yoward. Speaking of knickerbockers, proper knickerbocker glories are wonderful. What is a knickerbocker? What exactly is a knickerbocker? In New York, they used to call New Yorkers knickerbockers in the 1800s. What is a knickerbocker? Baggy, it's a baggy knee breeches gathered just below the knee. It also refers to a New Yorker, especially a descendant of the original Dutch settlers, and is commonly used for a layered British ice cream sundae. So it's a person from New York. It's also a pair of knickers. That's right. I can't believe I don't remember this stuff. I can't believe that. Yeah, people used to wear them. You didn't wear them until you were like 13. You couldn't wear trousers until you were 13 years old. My granddad used to wear them, says Reuben. Do you think in the trenches in world wars it smelt of bodies? Yes, it did, possibly. If they're sitting there dying and rotting, yes, probably it did. They all fought and lost their lives for the country to be invaded. Yeah, to be invaded. Yeah, that's sad. It's really sad. It's really sad, but it's bringing the Irish Catholics and Protestants together. Basically, is it not? Is it not? I bet Emily from GB News played it then. Played what then? Knickerbockers were also known as pedal pushers. Yes, that's women would wear them. I never wore them, but I was always told. My father used to say we weren't allowed to wear trousers until we were 10 years old. The guy who invented the water-powered car died before he could patent his car. And his house with all the documents and proving how it worked went missing. His last words were, "They poisoned me." Well, maybe that's possible. It's possible. Who knows what's going on in the world? I like baseball tops, great tops, but I don't own any, says Scott. Well, what does a baseball top mean? What does that mean? Billy Connolly had a joke about them. About what? Baseball tops? Knickerbockers is what the pants baseball guys wear. Yeah, They were the thing out of baseball that people don't use, as opposed to bats and sneakers. No, they don't. But people wear them, and then they become baggy fashion, and then they became tighter. There is a lawyer who recommends having the glove and ball in your car to have plausibility deniability that you are going to the game with your bat. Is that true? Is that true, Paul Yoward? I left out a word there. I have been to Chicago Cubs, Wrigley Field, too. Well, that's very cool. That's one of the oldest pitches or fields in America. And it's a great, great, great historic thing. In America, the field that I went to when I was a kid, they tore down the stadium, Shea Stadium, and then they put a new stadium in there. Yeah, baseball tops. You want to see what it looks like? This is my team. Yeah, some of them are really. It's really. I mean, yeah. And then there's T-shirts. This is like a retro. This is the kind of shirt, but this is just like it goes over your head. Oh, it's got buttons. No, it doesn't. 120. Do you see how much money they're selling these for? £120. If you want to buy my Millwall shirt, I put it up on Vinted at Nunhead Man. Nunhead Man Millwall baseball shirt. If you're who asked about that? Alex did. Yes, carrying a baseball bat is an offensive weapon. Carrying it with a ball and glove is just sports equipment. Yeah, probably that's true. They probably changed the law. Kermit, that's an interesting point. Yes. Never went there, unfortunately. She didn't go. Yeah, I mean, you can't do everything in your life. You can't do everything in your life. Maybe I should run a trip to America. We could fly to New York. A couple of days around New York. Then we could rent a car. I don't know how many people would want to come. Rent a car, and then we go up to like what I did with my son, which was brilliant. My son's, I went up the Hudson River, and then I went down through Pennsylvania to Washington D.C. It was a fantastic time. Even my kids liked it. In the 1980s, Carrie B sang in several Chicago bars. That sounds also cool. I mean, I'm not a big Chicago fan. I'm a New Yorker. Lewis takes America. Tickets free. Flight, food, accommodations included. Alex, don't spread that. 250 years independence this July. Yeah, can you believe that? I mean, are we independent of Britain? Is America independent? I'm not sure. I was there in 1976 for the 200th anniversary of America. I mean, it's coming up. What is Trump planning? I hope he plans for something. I hope by this time we've basically calmed the Iranians, Muslimists. The New River in America is one of the oldest rivers in the world. The New River. Where is the New River? Isn't that down in where is the New River? Lucy? Is it down in South Carolina? Or where is the New River? Where is the New River in USA? There's North Carolina, West Virginia, and Virginia. It is one of the world's oldest rivers, flowing north through the Appalachian Mountains before joining the Kanawha River in West Virginia. It is best known for the New River Gorge National Park. Look at that. It's considered one of the oldest rivers in the world. Thank you for that information. It's a tributary. Let's see where. Oh, oh, look. Oh, my God. Well, it goes up or down. So it goes through Virginia into, does it flow down that way? New River map. New River. It's like it's like, what do they call, what about the New River in London? New River, West Virginia. Where is the New River? Is this the New River? That's the New River. Oh, I want to go. I want to go. There it goes. It goes up here. Does it flow up or down? I guess it flows. It flows down. It flows down. I've never been up here. It's really beautiful and really cheap. We could buy a house there. We could buy a house for the, that's the New River. That's the New River. I think my son is here. Hiawassee, where does it end up? Sorry about that. Okay, that's really, really interesting. I love rivers. Watch out for Nigerian Trump supporters in Chicago, especially if you are Juicy Smollett, says Paul Yoward. That's a Chicago reference. Speaking of celebrations, in 9 years, it will be the 90th anniversary of World War II ending. And the youngest soldier who fought in it is about 90. Yeah, if he was 10 years old. There's only about 50 of them left. Yeah, my father was there, and he's dead. Aldi Basics. He's dead. Yeah, look for that. Oh, look who's here.
Hello.
Hello, how was your day?
Good.
Okay, welcome back.
I brought you duck.
You brought me what?
Duck.
Duck.
Yeah, bird.
But I mean, like duck food.
Duck.
Like duck meat.
Like 2 slices of duck.
Can I see it?
No.
The Finke River in Australia is considered to be the oldest river in the world, estimated to be between 300 and 400 million years old. Well, we'll see what Velikovsky has to say about that. Ben Shapiro does an hilarious send-up of Jesse Smollett. Or Smollett. Is he Smollett or Smollett? The River Quaggy runs through Lewisham. Go Lewisham, yes. I know the river, the Quaggy River. I know it. And the Peckham runs through here. The River Peck runs through Peckham Rye Park. Elton John's in the room. 97 through 99 currently. In 9 years, for the 90th, all will be over 100. Yeah, if they still live. Maybe we should kill them now before we have to spend the money to bring them to whatever country they're going to. My grandfather could not stand Andrex adverts. He would say, "What a lot of fuss about ass." Can we be nice? I do love Aldi. I love Aldi too. I love Lidl because there's one here. The Aldi one's over on the old Kent Road or the new Kent Road or whatever. Do you know where that one is? It's over on I don't know what that road is called. It's called the Old Kent Road, the New Kent Road. But Carrie B, thank you for pointing out that the River Quaggy runs through Lewisham. That's the kind of women I like. Women who know stuff. The only river through Peckham is the long stream of poverty. You know something? I wish that were the case. It's not the case anymore. These people have some money. 7 rivers run underground in London. T.S. Eliot eulogized them in a passage about the brown god of the Thames. Interesting. T.S. Eliot. I haven't used toilet paper in years, since I converted. That's a joke about converted toilet paper or something. The joke needs the word arse. I guess it does. I'm trying to be on my best behavior. I'm trying to benefit from this experience, from learning how to stream. Even though this is barely a stream. This son over here. This son over here. He 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 says this is a chat room. This is like a comedy club, basically. If you cross the water from Great Neck, is the other side nice or horrible, Vatanai, towards City Island? Well, I would say, I mean, towards the Bronx and Connecticut. It's so far away. It's a major schlep to get to. Is the Bronx nice? No. It's getting nicer now. Basically, it was totally destroyed. It was totally destroyed. But thank you for asking that. Remember, the Great Neck is a peninsula. So, on one side is Bayside. On the Long Island side is Bayside, which is in Queens, which is all right. And then the other side is Manhasset, which is similar to Great Neck, but for Christian people, where Great Neck is basically nice for Jewish people. I will never understand how it became socially acceptable to show babies' bums in adverts. We don't show ladies for adverts about tampons. I assume that's a joke. Okay. When I eventually have a Japanese loo installed, toilet paper will be a thing of the past. Laugh out loud. Well, can't you use a bidet? You know what? If you care about toilet paper, go on an all meat diet. You don't poo. You don't poo the way, you think you might poo. It's a stream. Well, actually, across the water, that water is Long Island Sound. It's not a river. It's salt water. It's salt water. The salt water goes around Queens and goes down. And okay, past Hellgate, which is considered to be like a really horrible bit of water there. Just use orange peel and Starbucks stick stir a thingy. I think we're all getting very dirty. Mandami, says Ruben, will ruin all the progress made by Giuliani in no time. The rot has already begun. You know what? You know what I hear? I hear that might not happen. I think people are. I mean, people don't like Trump, but they like what Trump is doing. From what I can tell, I don't know. I'm here. I have, I got 2 friends, 3 friends. Paul, I would have no issue seeing red liquid. I've never understood why it's blue. It's one of the few things I agree with feminism on. Good question, not directed at me. What are you saying here? Lately in the car radio, I hear ads for women with heavy bleed pads, and it's very descriptive. I cringe every time I hear it. Yes. Well, yeah. Back in the day, you couldn't even mention it. So I think that's a good sign. Freud believed that literally were the anal retainers who never pooed. His anal retentive is literally from people he believed never pooed, as Indian mystics claimed of themselves. Yeah, there are people who claim that stuff. It's like when I was going to the COVID deniers meeting, there are people who believed that they were just breathing enough things to eat. Boris was a decent mayor of London, our best in the 21st century. Possibly he was a horrible, horrible prime minister. But am I allowed to say that? I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that. Are any girls still on here? Help. Yes, there are. Are there any girls? Lucy, I think, is still here. Tell us about Trump, please, Lewis, from the point of view of a libtard. I mean, remember, he represents the enemy of everything that they believe. Everything. Everything. And that goes from birth control to assisted death. It goes he's against council housing, he's against, I don't know, they um it's a war. It's a war, but they have Trump derangement syndrome because they're not exactly sure why they hate Trump. They don't understand, as most of us don't. We don't understand. Um, as we don't understand that we're in a war, and that Trump is fighting for American sovereignty, or any, in English sovereignty. He's and the leftists are fighting for open borders, of welfare benefits, of everybody is the same. It's good that she's here. I'm currently identifying as a girl, so I can join the Girl Guides. Speaking of that, I keep hearing adverts on the radio about women being scared of exercise, that they might wet themselves. I get on the treadmill and the floodgates open. Why is this? Why is this on my radio? Why is this? Isn't this on my radio? Yeah, Tema lady. The desire to wear white trousers in women is a massive land advert is in massive advert land. I don't know what you mean by that. Boris opened the gates with mass migration. Well, he continued opening the gates, yeah. He also betrayed Farage with his Brexit deal. He's an effing bumbling idiot. Yes, horrible, 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 horrible. It's funny, the earlier show we have mostly girls, or women as we call it. Rocket League is here too. I'll try to be more sensitive. Yeah, I'll try to be more sensitive. Boris was a horrible prime minister. I agree. He basically he let he I don't know. He let the side down. Did he not let the side down? I think he let the side down. I keep seeing reports about Trump being ill. I suspect some of it is wishful thinking by his enemies. It is, but then remember, he's been eating McDonald's food for 50 or more years. Maybe probably way more than that. He goes on the way down to Jersey. He'd go down to Jersey. They'd stop at McDonald's. I saw pictures of it. I don't believe he was sick during COVID. Was he sick? I don't know. I've been reading about Joe Biden and Jill Biden, his wife. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Yes, I'm so triggered by people who talk and think and laugh and pray havoc. What do you mean by that, Corsai? Boris, 1920. Good to know. What is the question? I was rewatching Boris' lockdown video. He was saying the worst thing to affect this country in a century. A century earlier was 1920. Did he not forget about World War II? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they just wanted people to get into a panic. And when he went into a hospital, I don't believe he had COVID. I don't even believe in COVID. Basically, a child born at the beginning of the Conservatives achieved more by getting to 15 and no longer of interest to socialists than the Tories. Basically, says Paul Yoward, a child born at the beginning of the Conservatives. Okay? Which is what year did that happen? 2009 or 10? Achieved more by getting to 15, which is 2025. What does that mean? And no longer of interest to socialists than the Tories. What do you mean by that? Whoa, body form for you, Lucy says. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Lucy? I just meant that you might assume I'm an oaf, Corsi says, but my feelings are precious, and keeping me company is more than a pity party. I think you're all right. You've been on the stream for a long time under different names. Whatever. You must remember that Boris was a globalist, environmentalist dad who believes in eugenics. And we know what's good for you mentality, right? Which means he's a leftist communist. That's exactly what it is. Well, that's what the leftists believe. We know what's good for you, and we're going to make sure you follow it. I have a picture of Boris and his cohort all standing on the steps of Eton as members of the Bullingham Club. All were top-ranking Tories, Cameron, East, Osborne, Gove. Yes, horrible people. You must remember that Boris was a yes, that's what Vatanai says. He was a globalist. And globalists are leftists. They're communists. I'm not a globalist. I think one England. I believe in one England and one Britain and one America. And everybody else can go screw themselves, except for Israel. A child achieves more by getting out of the nonce zone for socialists than the Tories did in the same time in office, says Paul Yoward. So you're saying he's 15, that we're not interested in you anymore because you're 15. This is what the socialists, because they love the noncing. And I know his dad was a eugenicist. I'm joking. Your generosity is incomparable. Basically. Make sure we like the stream. Can we make sure we like the stream? Boris has a globalist dad. Yes, I understood that. I read that. His dad was globalist, and he was globalist too. You can't hold him responsible for what his dad is. But his dad was a globalist. And that's what the Tories were all about, globalism. That's why they didn't want to leave Europe. I mean, Boris did it because he wanted to be elected. Boris has a globalist dad. Okay. Have you seen Stanley Johnson's novel, The Marburg Virus? No. What is that? Is that sort of a COVID virus kind of thing, Lucy? Poorly, says Blazing Stars. You mean government borrows on the amount of children born? Is that what you're all about? Or is he about that the Tories don't care about children because you could just import fully grown working adults? So to hell with their schools. To hell with parents having kids. Annoying ad, says Joe Princess. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girl. It obviously didn't work, as I don't know the name of the brand. Purple and two women doing yoga and going clubbing. That one, Paul Yoward. Boris's great-grandparent is an Ottoman. Yeah. Is that right? Is that right? So maybe he has it deep. He was always pretending like to bicycle, you know. He would like get on the bicycle around the corner from number 10. He's a phony. I've not watched TV in 10 years. Neither I don't watch TV anyway. Yeah, I'm with you. There's Carrie B is here. Death Tom. What is happening to Talk TV? They got kicked off by Ofcom. I don't think they got kicked off. I think it just cost them money and they just didn't have the ratings. Piers Morgan quit. Mike Graham got sacked. Even Sharon Osbourne, who had her own show, left. I guess it got too expensive to do. That's what it's all about. Too expensive to do. Boris was a showman. It was for the cameras. Yeah, or I call it a phony. Him like having his hair. His hair had to be a mess. Oh, we love your hair. Your hair's a mess. We are living through a time now where all the New World Order is being formed. Forget the old. Forget the old world. Yeah, now this is what my friend Doug says. He says it's an amazing time right now. We're living through the major changes. Major changes. Um, I'm not going to read that, Carrie B, because it sounds a bit extreme. I'm not saying whatever it is. It sounds a bit extreme. So let's not look at it. Stanley Johnson is full of poo and posh poo too. The kind of posh dude who has no clue about ordinary folk. I don't think that's the issue. There are lots of people who know how ordinary folk live and don't care. He he was sent. He's the conservative member of the Uniparty, Vatanai. You know, as Boris wore tailored suits on his bike, if he did cycle with his fat thighs, would be more expensive than a taxi. He never lost weight. No, he was fat. He was fat. Lucy says it's about the outbreak of virus from a laboratory using monkey imported from Uganda. It's from 1982. Yeah, he might be involved in the thing. You think he's a primary spreader of the COVID thing, Lucy? I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. Um, Carrie Johnson is by name and job description. She's literally a Carrie Johnson of Johnson. What does that mean? Carrie, what does it mean she's a Carrie? Jeremy Clarkson would make a good prime minister, says Jack. I mean, well, yeah, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I think he's a comedian. Ruben says, Carrie B. Agreed, lovely. It's the only way we can all unite and build spaceships. We're in a new world. We're in a new world. I heard the lefties talk, TalkSport overtook free speech of talk. They basically, I think GB News came in and became the right wing station. You got to stake your ground. You can't move. Who saw the story of the quadruple amputee who shot the passenger as he drove his car? I did not see that. Clarkson's beer is good but expensive. Okay, stop it. Islam says death to the West. Yeah, no, you can't say that. I mean, I don't make these rules. You know what I mean? I don't make these rules, Carrie. We are here. We're given a free platform by YouTube. They give it to us for free. And they say, we'll give you the free platform, but you cannot say certain things, Carrie B. Johnson is a slang for oh, I see. I see what that is. I'm telling an American this. I don't know what I know, and I don't know what you know, and I've not been in America. I'm not an American. I've been here for 26 years. July 27th, 2000 is when I arrived. The EU is rigging democracy to prevent any possibility of a right-wing fight back. The possibility of a right-wing fight back. Okay, the electoral system is designed to prevent another Hitler getting voted in, even if the popular vote demanded it. Yeah, they want control over us, Fatanai. That's exactly true. The EU is rigging democracy. Not just that, they are leftists. They don't want right wing. Matt Goodrich released a new book called Suicide of a Nation: Immigration, Islam Identity. Yes, we're killing ourselves here. It's more to do with YouTube rules, host failing to control chat, Carrie B. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to. You have to know something about me. You know something about me, Carrie B, that whatever, you know it. The quadruple amputee's nickname is Chicken Nugget, as he is lumpy. Carrie B. Stormer just introduced new laws. We now have blasphemy laws to protect a certain death cult, says Ruben. Yes. Yeah, we got putting. Maybe I'll get a knock on the door because I didn't say that was wrong. Maybe I should. What should I do, Kermit? I don't want to block Carrie B. People are saying it's written by ChatGPT. Kermit says to Alex. Lucy Van Pelt says, I should have said that was a real-life outbreak that happened in 1967. His novel was based on that. Marburg virus is a real virus. Well, you say that, Lucy, but you know what Lewis Schaffer is going to say. You know what your friend Lewis Schaffer is going to say. He's going to say it wasn't a real virus. It was just believed to be a real virus. The same way COVID was believed to be a real virus. If I could speak Thai, I'd live in Thailand. Their women are beautiful. And they don't have trans women. They have lady boys. And they look like women. But be careful. You'll wind up getting married to one of them and they'll take all your money. I've been watching a lot of videos about Thai, but that's the same for women everywhere. The orthodox view is that Marburg virus is the most deadly ever. Well, that's the orthodox view. That's not what Lewis Schaffer's view, and that's not the official view of this channel. The official view of this channel, you can disagree with it, is that there's no such thing as viruses. There's no, what was the virus? The Ebola. That's bull. And meningitis. That's bull. My side job is posting on LinkedIn. Annoying BS expert, says Corsai. Lewis, have you ever thought of going to Thailand for women? Yes, I have. I've been watching tons and tons of video, and it just seemed, I've seen the people who go. I'm not that lonely. I know it seems like I'm lonely. It seems like I'm needy and wanting and weak, as I've been called. But I'm not that weak and wanting. You know what I mean? I would not, I could tell, I wouldn't go to a bar and hang out with I don't go to prostitutes. I don't have the money, and I don't want to spend the money. You know what I mean? I don't care about it. And I'm also 70 years old, so that maybe that day is past. Carrie B, you do understand that sometimes Lewis doesn't have a complete understanding or grip on things. So you have to forgive his perceived bluntness sometimes. Well, you got to forgive everybody's bluntness. I'm just saying what I'm thinking. I do not believe. What are we talking about? I do believe, but I do. There are things we can and cannot talk about. You have, and I have you guys. I'm hitting on you guys. I'm talking to you guys. I'm in a pub right here. This is our pub. We're in a pub. I'm coming in. Hey, it's Lewis Schaffer's here. And you go, hey, it's Lewis Schaffer. And you talk to me. You talk to the people here. Because it's a pub. You find a cute woman and she invites you to bed, and boom, you're the one receiving. What, because she's a trans woman or because she's a woman? Thai women don't age well. Well, some of them. I remember I met a girl there, and I said to her, "You're not like you don't look like the 12-year-old girl that I married." Speaking of my potential holidays to Thailand, that's a joke, people. Speaking of my potential holiday to Thailand, if I had a choice between spending the night with a Hulk Hogan with a penis, so this is the question, or a Megan Fox with a vagina, I'm picking the Megan. That's not the question. John Mann is here. Hello, John. Hello. How much does GB News pay guest presenters like yourself, if you can say? I'm not going to say, number one, but not that much. And some they pay a lot, and some they don't pay anything. Some they pay like £150 a show. So, John Mann. Or maybe it's less. Maybe it's 100. Maybe it's 50. They used to have a lot of money, and now, they're building it up now. Things are going quite good for them, I assume. They don't need me. There was a great skit by Crowder on how to escape a quadruple amputee assassin. Lewis, you are not weak and wanting and desperate and sad and lonely. And you are not 70. Get a grip. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I don't want to be. I don't want to be weak. I don't think I'm weak. I hope I'm not weak. What's going on with this? This is getting all blurry. It's getting all blurry. Okay, thanks. Yes, Lewis. As a landlord is a greater compliment than a coffee. What is a greater compliment? We had a doctor who now works 6 months here and then 6 months in Bali. He bought land there and built on it. He has a holiday villa. He let out in a family home. He has a much younger and small kids. Yeah, it sounds great. Sounds like a great life. I can barely live here. When I got married, my wife says, go to New York, go to New York. And I said, I can barely handle this country. I can't move anymore. Something's happened. I've got too much stuff. I got to get rid of my stuff. You can do me a favor. You can go to Lewis Schaffer Unvinted, Nunhead Man Unvinted. Chinese women age well. Lao Wai think they look ancient. Is that guy? Japanese are even more youthful, but they are considered past their prime real young, although they still look young. I heard that Nigel Farage is paid £1 million a year by GB News, but he's rarely on there. I don't think he's paid that much. Well, that's what I heard, something similar to that. Yes. Maybe, yes, he's got a lot of power there. Get some weights, that's Jack Schaefer says. Get some weights and start lifting every day, making sure to work a different part of the body each day. I think about it every day. You know what I do now? I'm walking 10,000 steps, picking up rubbish in the street where I have to bend down. Whatever. Jack Schaefer wants the tie D. Possibly he does. Possibly he does. Lawai means blue eye in Chinese and is the word for foreigner. Oh, that's what, because there's a guy with a YouTube channel. He's called Lawai, Paul. Anyway, let's say, are you going to bring it in so I can have a bite of it now?
No, it's in the fridge. Don't be.
Is it? I looked in the fridge. Is it
Yeah,
still
wrapped in blue. Yeah, because I took it from work.
How much is it? I mean, how much weight is it? Lewis, what is your ratio between making love with your partner and simply Matt Carney with your partner, simply effing? No, light and dark sexual connection. Which one do you like more? I think you're talking to the wrong guy. I'm not a lover. I'm a better lover now than I was, but I'm not a lover. Women don't want making. They want whatever they want. I don't know. He made $375K from those video messages on Cameo. Yeah. Well, why not? I mean, I'm not a big fan, but maybe it'll turn out for the best. The BBC is thinking, who can we get next? Covered all agendas, so now you, Edwards, is the lead for new Dr. You role. Is this a joke going on? Anyway, let me just say goodbye. This is really good. I'm enjoying this conversation, but we've got to end the stream. I think we've had a nice chat. I've tried to be as calm as possible. I didn't bang the table. You guys have stayed there. I think we've had good numbers for this show. I'm going to say what the numbers are. I'm going to say thank you to everybody. And you can, if I don't say thank you to you, just remind me. Say, what about me? Come on. I was here the entire time. I was a good participant. Also, can we go over here to Lewis Schaffer at X? Can we go to Discord? I was looking at Discord. Discord's really, really interesting, people. I was there just before. It was really, really interesting. I was watching, I don't even know what it's called, that film with the guy and the bear. And the bear is really dirty. I love that one. And also, maybe if you haven't made a donation this month, or whatever. You want to make a regular donation, go to PayPal and Patreon. I know you probably don't think I deserve it, but we're here. We're all here together. This is a pub that's free. That's free. You don't have to buy a drink. No one's looking at you in an odd way. I I basically won't remember if you've given me any money. So thank you, Top Cat, who's at 25. Go to Ko-fi, Ko-fi, or go to PayPal or Patreon, Lewis Schaffer. I would appreciate it. Anyway, Top Cat's at 25. David B's at 21. Sandeep's at 20. Good, beautiful. Dave Toby's at 19. Toxic Goy Hole is at 18. Andrew Rubin is at 17. 16 is at Rocket League. John Mann is right there at 15. Alex is at 14. Keith Bexley is at 13. So it's fantastic. Elite Elixir is 12. Andrew Graham is at 11. And there's that first woman. Brilliant. Lucy Van Pelt. She's there. She's right there. I'm not going to go to Thailand. I'll go up to Northern Ireland and see the weather's the same, probably the same as in Ireland and Northern Ireland. Thailand and Northern Ireland. But thank you, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Lucy Van Pelt. There's Jack Schaefer. Thank you. Jack is 9 and Paul Yoward is 8. And beautiful, beautiful Carrie B made me laugh by mentioning the River Quaggy in Lewisham. Thank you, Carrie B. 7. Corsai is 6. Thank you, Corsai or Nimby. Thank you, another beautiful woman. Joe Warrior Princess, 37. She's even younger than 37. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You could tell. There's Ruben at 4 and Vatanai at 3. Blazing Stars at 2. And the winner is Hi So Kermit. There we go. Hi Ho Kermit is there. So is everybody writing down the number? The number. So Lucy Van Pelt says 26. Remember, you got to get in it to win it. Lewis, how does one donate financially to your channel to show affection? You can go to Ko-fi, Ko/fi, Ko-fi.com/Lewis Schaffer. I'm right there. There you go. Kermit put it up there. Go there. It matters to me. It matters, I guess. Speaking of semen, Bonnie Blue has more semen go through her than the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, whatever. She's all right. I don't think it's evil. She's not being evil. She's not being evil. Basically. Paul Yoward says number 9. Okay, we've had a good turnout. We're basically maintaining our numbers. Basically, we got new people, but we got lots of old people coming in. Here we go. So Elite Elixir and Joe, what is the number? Everybody, come on, get in there and write the number. Alex, funny joke. Bonnie Blue should be in prison. So should all those men. Why? Shouldn't she be allowed to do what she wants to do? Lucy Van Pelt. Jack Schaefer says 24. Corsai says 28. Keep on going. When you person who guesses the right number, I'm going to go, you've won. There you go. Just bought a coffee. Thank you very much. And I actually drink coffee. And I actually have a cup of tea. I have half a cup of tea at night. No. What do you mean no? I don't think they should be in prison. I think there's so many bad things going on in this country. This is how you get attention. There's lots of people who do things for attention. Look at me. I already said 30, so I'll say 30. Come up with a new number. Paul Yoward says 22. I'm outraged by such moral laxity. Joe says 34. Alex says 23. Only one number per person at a time. Get in there, write a number. And then And then you could put a new number in when I say, apparently, a cup of Joe was a misprint in a New York newspaper, creating a slang cup of Joe. I didn't never heard that. That's worth checking out. You don't mind if I check that out? The New River. Cup of Joe. Word origin. As slang for coffee, that's probably theory. Josephus Daniels, a U.S. Navy secretary, who banned alcohol on ships, making coffee the strongest drink available. Jamocha, coffee and mocha, a reference to the common average Joe, or a reference average Joe. I don't think we'll ever know the answer to that question. That's one of those questions. Boom! And there is the winner. Vantanai is the winner at 27. Congratulations, Vantanai. At 27, you have won. That's the largest concurrent group of people watching the stream. Thank you very, very much. Vantanai, thank you, everybody, for listening. If I haven't mentioned your name, I do. I'll mention. You say, what about me? I'll mention it. I'll mention it. There you go. We've got over 124 views. And it's been basically, we've had basically, we've had 20, we've been all, it's basically flat. We didn't lose anybody. The chipmunk with germs, Vantanai. Yeah. Yeah, there's probably germs on this. Look how beautiful that is. Can you see that? There you go, 27. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. At what time? At what time? You know, what time? We'll see you tomorrow at 5. Is there a lot of it, or is there a little bit of it? I'll have a bite now. I'll have a bite now. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Corsai. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Elite. Tomorrow's Friday. There you go. Everything's good. I love you. I love you. I love you. We will see you tomorrow. I'm going to let the stream go on for a little bit longer, for 2 more minutes, and then I'll say goodbye. And thank you, Kermit. Most important, thank you, Kermit, for keeping the stream okay, or as good as it could be.